Welcome to the Wealthy Woman's Podcast, a podcast for high-achieving women who are great at making money but struggle to build wealth. You'll learn how to take control of your money, increase your net worth, and make more. Ladies, it's time to create a life with more money and more freedom. Let's dive in. Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to the podcast. Today, we are going to be talking about a concept called the wealth wheel. And I am so excited to share this concept with you, this process with you. And so we're just going to go ahead and get to it. So the wealth wheel is a process that I take potential clients through during a consultation. Now, a consultation is something that I offer for women who want support, guidance, and accountability from me in order to help them to finally get this whole money thing together, right? To help them to reach their financial goals. And they are interested in my help with doing that. And we either do that through the Wealthy Woman's Academy, which is my group program where you get some one-to-one coaching and group coaching, and you work with me for an entire year to change your financial life. Or if you want to work with me privately. Either way, I offer a consultation so that you can really understand what is going on with your financial life. And the way we do that is through a process called the wealth wheel. Okay. Now, this in particular is for women who want to go from just consuming the podcast, listening to the podcast, getting all inspired and, excited about the possibilities that are available to them financially to actually implementing them into their lives. They want to implement the concepts that I teach. They want to implement the solutions that I offer. And they want to do this work with me. And in order to kind of make that final decision, I offer a consultation. And again, I take them through the wealth wheel in order to do that. I do not talk about the wealth wheel on the podcast. I'm never going to, take anyone through it publicly on the podcast. This is something that is exclusively for women who actually book a consultation with me. But I want to give you a glimpse into what it's like. And so if you hear something that sparks your interest, you're like, oh my gosh, I should do this, then all you have to do is go to jermainefoley.com/WWA and book your consultation. It's completely complimentary, or you can go to the show notes and click the link and then book it from there. Now, let's talk about who these consultations are for. These are for women who know that they make good money and they could be doing so through their career or if they have their own business. But here's the kicker. They're not building wealth. They are not where they want to be financially. They think they should be further along. And because they are not reaching their financial goals, they do want support. They do want help because it's happening year after year. And they may have been avoiding their money. They may have been putting things off. But it's like now it's just like, no, I'm not putting this off anymore. I'm ready to change my life. I've been listening to the Wealthy Woman's Podcast. I think Jermaine can be the person that can help me. I am ready to work with Jermaine inside of the Wealthy Woman's Academy or one-to-one. And if that is you, that is who I opened up these consultations for. You, again, go to the show notes to book your consultation or go to jermainefoley.com/WWA. If you go to that webpage, you're going to read all about how I can help you. And then if that really is like, yes, this is what I want, then go ahead and book that consultation. And when you do so, it'll take you to my calendar link. You'll pick a day and time, answer a few questions, and then voila, you are on my calendar and we will have a time set aside just for you to talk about you and your money, what's stopping you from getting the results that you want. Now, this is for you if you feel like your spending is out of control, if you find yourself in a debt cycle where you're always, paying it off. Maybe you get a windfall, a bonus at work, or sign a client in your business and you're just like, you know what? I'm going to pay this debt off, and you do it, but then you find yourself right back there. Or maybe you save a nice amount of money, but then you find that you just spend it right back down. Or you just you feel that your spending is out of control. And this is you, even if you're making money in a career or a business. You could be a business owner, an entrepreneur, a coach, a consultant of some sort, a real estate agent. You could have a small business, or you could be working in a career. You could be in corporate America. You could be in any other profession as well and still be experiencing these things. And if that's you, you are who I opened up these consultations for. Because here's the thing, I think my specialty is helping women just like this break free from the cycle of money in, money out, right? Making lots of money, but also spending it and not being able to build wealth with it. And so I love to help women like this learn the skill of building wealth, to learn the skill of keeping more of the money they make. And we'll do all of this without going on a strict budget and without having to completely cut your lifestyle to shreds, right? Because I believe that strict budgets are not necessary in order to build wealth. And quite frankly, I don't think they work. Okay. So now that we're clear on who a consultation is for, let's talk about the process that you'll go through once you book one. However, I do need to give you a disclaimer and talk about really quick what we're not going to do on the consultation. There are some things that we are not going to do on this consultation, and I want you to really, really understand this, because I think sometimes we could want to do something, but we may have some thoughts and some fears that, you know what, I'm going to have to tell all my business. I'm going to have to hear her tell me that I should stop spending on certain things. She's going to want to know how much I make. She's going to want to know all these numbers. And I don't want people to know my business. And I want to reassure you that that is absolutely not the case. You get to tell me as much or as little as you want. And quite frankly, I don't need to know like all the nitty gritty numbers during a consultation in order to really help you. And so that could put some of you at ease to know that, okay, I'm not going to have to bare my soul. I'm not going to have to tell her every little thing about my money, every little thing I spend my money on. She's not going to tell me I have to stop traveling. I have to stop going to restaurants and I can't buy my shoes anymore and I have to give up my fancy handbags. No, I'm not going to tell you any of that. This is really a safe space for you to come and to learn the obstacles that are standing in your way from reaching the financial goals that you have. And then once we figure out what those obstacles are, I'm going to give you tailored solutions to it. So let's go ahead and talk about the wealth wheel now. The wealth wheel is a process, again, that I take potential clients through during a consultation. And here's how it works. First, I want you to know it's customized to each individual person, and we'll explore 5 to 6 main areas of your finances. It's 5 to 6 because everybody's going to explore 5, but you may have a specific area that we need to explore that other people may not need to. So that's why I say 5 to 6. And we'll look at where you are now, where you want to go financially, and again, the obstacles that are standing in your way. These obstacles are typically things that are preventing you from getting where you want to go. Once we figure out what they are, I am going to tell you how you can overcome them. Now, remember, your solution is going to be unique to you, which means it's not going to be cookie cutter because your obstacles will be very unique to you. Even if your obstacle is similar to other women's obstacles, your reason for having that obstacle, the reason why that is an obstacle for you may be different. And so the solution, therefore, will be different. Let me give you an example. Let's say I have 2 different women who book a consultation and both of them have the obstacle of overspending standing in their way, right? Maybe one wants to save $20,000 or $30,000 in her savings and her emergency fund, and the other one wants to get out of credit card debt. And when we go through the wealth wheel, we discover that it's overspending that's actually preventing them from reaching those goals, okay? Now, just because the obstacle is overspending doesn't mean that the solution will be the same for each one of them. Because let's take person A. Person A may be overspending because she may just be unorganized. Maybe she doesn't know how much money is coming in and going out. She doesn't know when it's going out. She has been avoiding her money for so long. And the reason why she's overspending is just because there's no organization to her money. She doesn't know where all her money is going, and that's her reason for overspending. Now, person number 2 could be overspending because they use spending as a coping mechanism. They spend when they're stressed out. They spend when they're bored. They spend to get emotional satisfaction. So now that you see the reasons why each person is overspending, you can see how the solution to stop overspending for each of them will be different, right? For example, person number 1 could be, okay, you just need to really get clear on your numbers. You need to stop avoiding your money and do something that I call a spending audit, where I take you through a process of actually figuring out what's coming in, what's going out. You just do an audit of your money. And a lot of times there's some reluctance to doing that, but I promise you, every single person who's gone through that process, they are so relieved and grateful when they do, because all of the questions that were swirling around in their head about where they stood financially are gone. They just have so much clarity and they know exactly where they are. Even if it's not exactly where they want to be, there's just power in knowing, and they feel so free and confident to move forward, right? So that could be one of the potential solutions for person number 1. And for person number 2, one of their potential solutions could be to learn how to find emotional satisfaction outside of spending. So we may explore other things that they can do when they're stressed out. We may explore other things that they can do in order to find joy and satisfaction, and not just to rely on spending to do so. And that could be their solution, which is totally different than person number 1's. And remember, they both had the same obstacle that was standing in their way. Now, we can take this even deeper and say we have 2 people that had the same obstacle and the same reasons why they were doing it, maybe disorganization, but still their solutions will be even different, right? And then we could have 2 people, again, that have the obstacle of overspending, and the reason they're doing it is to cope, and we still find 2 different solutions. So everything I do during these sessions is customized to the person sitting in front of me. It is literally one of the best gifts you can give to yourself. It's completely complimentary. The only thing you're paying is your time. You're giving your time, your attention, and your energy to your money. So I wanted to just kind of give you a glimpse into what it could look like. And I can't sit here and tell you this is exactly what it's going to be like, because again, it's customizable to you, because even if you have the same obstacles as someone else, your unique solutions will be different. And I will walk you through each one of them during your Wealth Wheel process. Now, if once we go through the process, I think I can help you overcome those obstacles, then I will invite you to work with me either inside of the Wealthy Woman's Academy or to work with me privately. Here's what I know for sure. Women have so much fun on these calls. They feel enlightened. They feel inspired to move forward. They feel unstoppable because so many of you do not think it's possible for you to change your finances. You do not think it's possible for you to live a life that's free from money stress and money worry. You do not think that's possible for you, but after going through this process, you see a way forward. You see that, oh my gosh, I could be living a totally different life. And just going through this process alone can be life-changing, and it could change everything for you financially. Okay. Now, if this is something that you're interested in, all you have to do is go to jermainefoley.com/WWA and book your very own consultation, or simply go to the show notes and click on the link. Now, some of you are listening to me and you're like, oh my gosh, I should do this. And others are not. You're like, nope, that's not for me. I'm not ready for that. And if that is you, if you're not ready, that's fine. Keep listening to the podcast. Keep working, keep doing what you can do on your own. But some of you are like, oh my gosh, I should do this. I should book this consultation. I should meet with Jermaine. And if that is you, I will offer this. Listen to yourself. Give yourself this gift. Because if you have that idea, if you have that nudge, then you are who I'm talking to. Because not all of you will have that idea and nudge that you should do this. But if you do, go for it. And the reason why I'm saying this is because there is this law that was made famous by Jim Rohn called the law of diminishing intent, which states that the longer you wait to take action on an idea, the less likely you will be to take it. And so if you are excited about something, if you are inspired to do something, then pounce on it. Michael Hyatt, who's this great author, he says, if you have an idea, pounce on it. And this is what he means by that. Pounce and do it now. He says, once you know the next step, and for you, if you have that nudge, maybe the next step to change your financial life is to book a consultation. He says, do not wait. He says, waiting feels safe, but waiting kills dreams. So if you have the nudge, have the idea to do this, then do not wait. Take action. Because when we're first inspired to do something, that is when we're most excited about it. That's when we're most motivated. But the longer we wait, even if we wait more than a day or two, that excitement and motivation fizzles. And the next thing you know, it's a year later and you're still in the same spot. Here's the beautiful thing. Today is one of the first Tuesdays in July. So you still have an entire 6 months to affect your finances for this year of 2024. Okay? You still have so much time this year to do something. So if you started the year with a goal and you haven't really made much progress towards it, that's okay. Decide that the year is not over and you still have 6 entire months available to you and you're going to do something about it. Here's another thing I want you to know, that I'm offering these consultations right now. It's July 2024. I'm offering them now. If you're listening to this episode 6 months later, a year later, 2 years later, I may not be offering these consultations. I just want to put that disclaimer out there because I know some people listen way out in the future and then they want to do something that I'm talking about now and it's just not available. So I just wanted to make that little disclaimer. Okay. But don't let waiting be your dream stealer. Don't let that be your story. Pounce on it, as Michael Hyatt says, because waiting may feel safe. I love that. When I read it, I'm like, oh my God, I have to share it with everybody on the podcast. It feels safe to wait. It feels safe to think about it. But I believe that God gives us ideas in the moment. And there's so many ideas and inspirations that we have that we sleep on and they just fizzle away and we never ever get around to doing it and our lives just stay the same year after year. And I want you to know that if you have that nudge, if you feel inspired, then take that as a sign that this is for you. Because again, like I said earlier, not everyone will be inspired by what I'm saying right now. But if you are, then listen to yourself. Even if you're a little nervous, even if you are a little afraid, because all that means is that you are doing something that's outside your comfort zone. And everything you ever wanted is just a few steps outside of your comfort zone. So again, if you're interested in booking a consultation so that I can take you through the process of the wealth wheel, then all you have to do is go to jermainefoley.com/WWA or go to the show notes and book your consultation. And I cannot wait to see you there. And just so you know exactly how it will happen, you will click the link, you will pick a day and a time. And then once you do that, you'll have a couple questions to answer. And we'll just ask you to confirm that you understand that this time is set aside specifically for you. It will be on Zoom. You do not need to be on camera and that you will show up for that time. Okay. And once you book that, you will get a confirmation right after you book it. And then you'll get a reminder email 24 hours before, and then another reminder email 1 hour before your scheduled time. And then I will meet you on Zoom. Like I said before, I was literally the worst person with money. So there's nothing you're going to tell me that's going to make me blush or that is going to flabbergast me. I was the worst. And this is your time to just get the help that you want, to get the support that you want, to get the guidance that you want. And if it's a good fit, I will offer you how we can work together to actually implement all of the solutions I will share with you into your life and literally change it. Okay. Again, if that's you, you know what to do. Go to the show notes or go to jermainefoley.com/WWA. I will see you next week. Bye-bye. Hey, before you go, if you're ready to create a life with more money and more freedom, then you're invited to join the Wealthy Woman's Academy, my signature coaching program where you'll learn how to take control of your money and build wealth without sacrificing your lifestyle. To get started, head on over to jermainefoley.com/WWA. That's Jermaine with a G. See you over there. Bye-bye.